open up to Mike Varley.
Thanks for having me. There's a place to go downstairs. Can I move it? Is that real? All right, so I just want to pimp one thing before I start, because once I start, I'll be going, and then I will stop. I have a reading series. It's called the AD Reading Series. I've been doing it for about a year and a half now. It's over at 7 Dunham in Williamsburg, under the Williamsburg Bridge, and it's happening December 15th, Sunday, and you should come. It's going to be awesome. There's a poster over there, and I'll be performing in that one as well. Hopefully, if you like this, you might like something there. I get a chair too. Can people see me in the chair? Maybe I'll sit and stand there. This is a piece about life in the city. I wrote it about a year ago, and I just kind of wanted to capture the time that I've spent here in kind of an abstract way. I would say all of it's true, but whether or not that actually means anything is up to you guys. I'm not going to start. I might stand. I am standing. The truth is, you're such a special person when you're drunk. That's not a knock to your sober side. Just an asset we'll be counting on in casting tonight's production. It's another opening Saturday in the city of personal cinema. 8 million moving movies, 200 stars a subway car, 10 co-stars per adventure, and a love interest if you're lucky. I've released thousands of films to a one-man audience. The one with the wolf mask made of faceted mirrors, dancing with sexy skeletons and daft robots in a soundstage by the river. The one with the white limousine filled with fake Marines and groupies, throwing hats out windows and scoring hot-for-power ads. The one with the crazy bartender chases you out of the bar to serenade you with insults before she breaks down on the unforgiving floor. Or any of the many sequels to the popular Apartment series, scored with thumping bass and bathed in wine and ashes. The one where you climbed out the window to unlock the bathroom door on a 3-inch strip of metal and 4-inch platform wheels. And in the film's third act, the landlord comes by to reveal the hidden cameras. The one where the cast dressed as medieval characters to traverse the dungeon I made in my mind. The one where we meditated in a gold room filled with massive paintings to the sound of tantric flute music. The one where you started to choke me, and I gasped utter indifference, leaving you to teach the wall a lesson. The one where we ate latkes and drank eggnog and holiday antlers, dancing for a 13-year-old Brenda Lee. And who could forget the rotating couch stars, halving the rent and doubling the intrigue? The one where Galen painted or played the piano for a noble purpose in ignoble style. The one with Justin and a lesbian lover on the floor-laid mattress when he hears the door shutter. The one with Brian flushing baggies down the toilet, and the encounter in the kitchen that shattered his fragile eggshell mind. The one with the unnamed actress that smashed box office records, now held in legal limbo over distribution methods. The 3-year-long film where we all fell in love with each other in infinite bliss. The one franchise filmed on the dance floor of Legion, with the girl in the tasseled hide vest, and you in the painted cat mask, skin to skin and pore to pore. The one where we once met eyes, and there's nothing we could possibly do to remember. But we met once, at the bagel store, or maybe the bodega, or maybe even between two other people's eyes, because what's to say their experience in passing familiarity is any different than our own? A pulsing metropolis of instant encounters, creating a collective temperament that flavors all our documentaries and legitimizes all our fictions. The one you never dared to dream of, the one you never dared to try, the one with the bridge on the skyline dialing down, set to only shallow. And the funny thing is, no one knows what makes these films so successful, why a life of shredded nevers in a city built on lies can draw in an audience of millions to ruinous amusement. But if we're not here to die, then what the hell are we here for? If we're only here to live, what would the audience cheer for? You look so understanding from the railing of the bar. Have a seat with me, won't you? We're going to discuss a host of issues related to deck chair arrangement. So what's your take on it all? I mean, you've probably been here as long as I have, if not longer. And if you haven't, you'd do good to remind me of all that I've forgotten. When it was new and forgiving, enormous and wrinkle-free. When you walked on the sunny side, away from your bedmate's apartment. Morning light, singing a major chord in step with your stride like harmony. When all the little neighborhoods had no meaning beyond their names as you got off the subway hand in hand to explore. When the long-gone friends were simply old friends, and today's old friends were yet to be found. Do you remember love as that carefree enterprise in a city of pistons and steaming? Back then, creation was a matter of worship and absorption. These days, it's from the vantage of not needing a reason. A snapped-off throttle ride of purposeless ambition. I've been progressively seeping through the atmosphere of normalcy ever since I started on these African pills. I hung 100 spoons in my meditation room on 3-foot fish line, lit it weird, and let the cameras go. I made paper cutout dolls for 72 hours of Stevie Nicks, creme brulee, and the whale from the Natural History Museum. I wrote a story about Solomon Stoddard, a 17th century Puritan pastor who discovers an iPhone sent from the devil and stabs a horse in the hopes of escaping a fate preordained on Wikipedia. I stole old negatives from forgotten family albums and used them as wallpaper for a mason jar. I purchased Victorian-style mounting boards for our severed papier-mâché unicorn heads. I stole your dancing likeness off the internet and spray-painted you golden in a field of rhythmic lasers. I imagined your face on a Russian doll geisha and wrapped you in a blood-red coat, pinned with a pattern of cascading stars. This is just the nonsense I cooked up for your birthday. It all went straight to DVD with a little self-financing. Are you getting up to leave? Or just to get another? Good. I'll have whatever comes from the well or whatever's in the cooler, depending on the location and whether or not it's still summer. So, how's that project going for you? The one we discussed like a lottery ticket. I've got one cooking that's going to blow your head in. It's about a group of friends that have a brunch and decide to film it. In this film's universe, Sally Mae hires assassins to collect their debts from delinquents, and Humphrey Bogart's stunt double has sex with everyone on screen. In this universe, the waffle is treated like St. Patrick's shamrock, revealing the good news in each of its peaks and valleys. In this universe, the doghouse is treated as the ultimate symbol of Sarah McLachlan, energy independence, and American heritage. In this universe, you can't fully trust any talking electrical equipment. In this universe, is there any better way to express expression than to use the tools immediately around you? If you're paying your actors in anything more than heavy pulp mimosas, there's a pretty good chance that they don't actually love you, and the camera will catch all the consequence. Is it yours or mine? Is that DJ off yet? I think I'm near ready to face the field of inspection. So, where do you want to go for Memorial Day this year? Remember Comset Park and the end of the world that proved a false alarm? When the rain turned to sun at the very apocalyptic deadline? And that night in the tent, filled with flashing contours and tender skin? Or the trip to the sculpture garden, where the three-legged Buddha kicks his head with eternal bemusement? Where we could live in a slowly melting house of brilliant, resplendent color, and see our own impressions in the mirrored picket fence. The youth, so easily spotted in facial distortions. We could have stopped right there and welcomed forever. We can take my car if we split up the gas. I'll clear the back seat of electrical cords and sample carpet tiles. You're so damn funny when we're driving open roads, and I don't dare ruin it by trying to guess why. I know. I saw the look too. Let's get out there then. Dance for the connection, tempting all potential in a universe strict and immediate. It's our job to express thrill in all of this creation. We are infinite beings that gave ourselves legs to know the sensation of walking. We are limitless energy confined to a torso in order to feel a heart's longing. If it wasn't a valid option to live to self-implode, do you think we would have allowed it when we gave our gods instructions to uphold? And when you find that certain person whose eyes match with your smile, is there anything less to be said in the world? The film takes over completely now in a clash of Bollywood headliners, topping weekly grossings in your weekend box office mind. The audience favorite and the young ingenue, finding each other in the kaleidoscopic haze of uppers and downers and unfurled emotions, finding each other pleased with their respective rhythm sections. Let's take your friend up to the roof. We're almost at the apex of our one-eyed dementia. One world trade looks so lovely from up there. Buy a sandwich and a six-pack across the street at 4 a.m. Don't get the glass bottles. We never got that bloody footprint off the rooftop floor. I took the blame for that one. In the original buddy comedy, Angelo and the Yuppie Jews Next Door. It stars an authentic Italian hitman and a masterfully passive Catholic who go on adventures of false assumptions and death threats over never-ending bottles of Dreg-Flag Grappa. Turn off all cell phones because they might be tapped. Bring the rent in cash or you can't come back. Do you know the difference between Fed and family? It's as razor thin as the dialects between Sicily's streets. Do you doubt he could secure $1 million in cash in under an hour? Because if you do, and the briefcase shows, be prepared for a joyride on the back of the gravedigger's chopper. The name of his front gang is the Relentless Few. They sealed up their clubhouse's only front window with concrete to safeguard their innocent view. And when you ask him vacation plans, he tells you a weekend at Attica for a furious game of Rummy 50,000. We'll play cards all day, Mike. 30 years. Might as well be all the time in the world. And when he sees the curly-haired kid presents no immediate threat, he takes him to his chest with genuine affection, closely whispering, "We're never going to talk like this again. So don't remember to forget it all." Kick open the roof door in garish bravado and collapse laughing on the bloody shingle floor. D&C brought up some acoustics, and the dancing reaches the neighborhood ceiling. Jackets work as blankets, or jackets work as drapes. Thighs exposed for delicate gestures, kept in secret from the Near Dawn Collective. Remember the one film we never discussed, we saw played out in the space between our eyes? All that was there, and everything after. Blur and compound till it is no longer emotion, but blind understanding. Hard to define and impossible to remove. Informing every weekend we choose to spend at each other's side. I'm ready to jump if you are. Straight for the cresting sunshine and over the Lower East Side to parts unknown, where we could drink from exotic, hollowed fruits and gain a little perspective on his perpetual quest for mad-eyed dilation. And you'll have that certain smile we share on special wordless occasions, where the narrative before us is so kind to reveal itself unspoken. We're here for the scars and the tussle, for the magnetic amulet they hand you on entering that attracts every sort of crazy you could possibly conceive, animal, vegetable, and mineral. For the sacred springtime Sundays where the parks are inspired gardens of music and percussion, blankets and sheepdogs, vitality present, and even the oldest eye. For the shriek rattle of the trip from borough to borough, Battery to Bronx, statues of flesh we ride alone, yet not without our secret understanding that to be here, you can't be anywhere else. You grow in the same soil as the stranger riding beside you. For the daily rituals on the streets of your rented home, fascinating or beautiful or recently mocking, constantly changing and constantly the same. Moving van first Saturdays, rotating storefronts on the same shady corner, a free newspaper for every day of the week, replenished by some unseen hand. For the pride of being a Sherpa to humanity's highest peaks of ego, the air so deliriously thin it demands proper medication. For the death, for the life, for this jump, right now, off the roof and toward the horizon. I know we can make it, because we haven't yet missed, even though we haven't yet tried. Just close your eyes and picture the moments you felt yourself floating above your own life, watching it unfold in widescreen surround, the hero in the chaos of flashing lights and arpeggios, under the sheets or around the practice halls, blissfully present while completely fucking around. And all those days I don't remember, I never would have remembered anyway. And all the ways I could have changed the world amount to punctuation on the resume. It's the scenes that stick in your head that matter, shaping your outlook on life. The films that I've seen are buoyant enough to see me reach the fast approaching light.